You might be asking yourself why we postpone our desires for personal transformations. Discover the power of acting now and the direction of your life. Change is within your reach, and you might be ready to take the first step. Listen to Tito's message next.
Solve your difficulties now. You have long desired and intended to change, correct flaws, and overcome weaknesses. The moment is now. Don't delay any longer. Transformation doesn't happen instantly, but every step is important. If you stumble, don't give up. Start over as many times as necessary. Your evolution depends on your determination and persistence. The power of change is in you deciding. You will undoubtedly have help.
In the beating heart of this metropolis, where concrete meets the sky and haste dictates the rhythm of life, resides the story of Laura. A woman imprisoned in a labyrinth of routine, where days blur into a smudge of commitments and expectations. The city, with its lights and shadows, was a stage for her journey of rediscovery. Her office, a soulless cubicle, was a reflection of her existence, gray, lifeless, without hope. The walls, cold and impersonal, seemed to suffocate her dreams and aspirations. Her colleagues, ghostly figures amid the clatter of keyboards, were mere strangers in her solitary journey. Communication was limited to emails and instant messages, with no room for human connection. Swamped in deadlines and endless demands, her creativity and passion for life became distant memories, almost unreachable. At home, loneliness enveloped her like a heavy cloak. The nights, long and silent, were filled with TV series and the bitter taste of lifeless meals. The cat, her only confidant, seemed to share the same melancholy, watching her with sad and understanding eyes. Time passed without anything breaking this suffocating monotony. The invitations to go out, which were once frequent, became rare. Friends followed different paths, and those who still tried to keep in touch received automatic excuses of tiredness or lack of time. Laura didn't realize that life was slipping through her fingers, like grains of sand in the wind. Until one day, while having lunch in a park, her eyes found serenity in the form of an elderly woman feeding birds. The joy that emanated from her was a stark contrast to Laura's own sadness. The simplicity of the scene, the connection with nature, and the genuine happiness of the woman intrigued her. The question echoed like thunder in her heart. Laura couldn't help but approach. "How do you manage to have so much joy and satisfaction?" Laura asked. The woman smiled and replied, "I decided to be happy, my dear. And you, what have you decided for your life?" The woman's words, simple and profound, triggered an avalanche of reflections. Laura realized that she had gotten lost in a labyrinth of expectations, postponing her dreams and desires. Life, with its responsibilities and commitments, had diverted her from the path of happiness. That night, the pen danced on the paper, releasing the longings imprisoned in her heart. She wrote about her dreams, her passions, and her fears, praying and outlining a plan for a new life. At this moment, as the pen glided across the paper, her thoughts were entirely focused on the Lord, asking for the grace for change with all the guidance she should follow to achieve security and quality in her new direction in life. However, changing her reality was not simple. The challenges began to arise like insurmountable walls. The fear of change paralyzed her. How could she leave a stable job, even if it was suffocating? How could she face financial insecurity? How could she explain her decision to her family, who had always encouraged her to seek stability above all else? Each choice brought with it a consequence that seemed to threaten the little security she still possessed. The first step of her journey was to rediscover an old passion, photography. She enrolled in a night course, even knowing that her time was already scarce. The routine became even more exhausting, as her body, accustomed to the mechanical cycle of work and rest, felt the impact of the new activity. But at the same time, something within her ignited. Every day she believed more in the project, always asking for the Lord's guidance. With the camera in her hands, Laura began to see the world differently. The small details, previously ignored, became sources of beauty and inspiration. However, this new journey also brought challenges: doubt in her qualifications, relentless self-criticism, and the frustration of not achieving perfect results right from the start. Several times, she thought about giving up at the same time that she saw blessings arriving. In an impulse of courage, she bought a ticket to several distant destinations. The trip represented the definitive break with her old routine, but fear consumed her. What if she couldn't adapt? What if she was just running away from problems, instead of solving them? The airport seemed like a portal to the unknown, and the tension in her chest was almost unbearable. Arriving at each new destination, Laura faced another reality, the loneliness of travel. Without friends, without family, without the comfort of routine. But little by little, she found people who shared her passion for photography and who helped her see life from a new perspective. She learned to communicate in new languages, to get lost in new places without fear, and to live without the security of old ties. Obstacles arose in her path, testing her strength and determination. There were moments of despair, when her money almost ran out and the fear of uncertainty made her question her choices. But there were also moments of pure joy, a sunrise seen from the top of a mountain, a spontaneous smile from a stranger, a photograph capturing the fleeting beauty of life. It is in these moments that the Almighty Lord places Himself in our favor, bringing solutions to our journey. Turning these moments of life's captures into images that made every difficulty worthwhile. Laura learned that change is not a magical event, but rather a journey of small steps, each one a brick in the construction of a new reality. With each decision, with each choice, she shaped her destiny, creating a more authentic and meaningful life. And above all, she discovered that the power to transform her life had always been in her hands. But Laura's story is just the beginning. A symphony of possibilities opens before you. Faith and determination, like musical notes on a score, can compose a unique and transformative melody in your life. Believe in the Lord and in your potential for development, embrace your journey, and allow life to lead you to a radiant future. Change is within your reach. Believe in yourself, embrace the journey, and allow the symphony of life to lead you to a radiant future. And now, prepare to hear Tito's inspiring words, with words of encouragement that the Lord proposes to you and that will keep you on the paths of faith and hope. He will help you find the inner strength to transform your life into a masterpiece of happiness and fulfillment.
In the Word, we find an inexhaustible source of wisdom and drive for our lives. In it, we find teachings that help us understand how to build the future. Let's learn about 3 passages that illustrate Laura's victory. The first passage one that I will quote is Philippians chapter 4 verse 13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This passage reminds us that, with faith and determination, we are capable of overcoming any challenge. Just like Laura, who found the strength to change her life, we can trust that God strengthens us in our journeys. Every step we take towards our transformation is an act of faith and courage, and God is with us in every moment. Let's move on to learn about the past with passage 2 Isaiah chapter 43 verses 18 and 19. Do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing, now it shall spring forth, shall you not know it? I will even make a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. This passage encourages us to leave the past behind and trust that God is preparing something new and wonderful for us. Just like Laura, who decided to no longer live trapped in her old routine, we can believe that God opens new paths and guides us towards a future full of possibilities. The Word always gives us directions where we may even encounter some obstacles, but it teaches us in the passage of James chapter 1 verses 2 to 4 the teaching, My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. This passage teaches us that difficulties and trials are opportunities for us to grow in faith and patience. Just like Laura, who faced challenges in her journey of transformation, we can find joy and purpose in our own trials, knowing that they strengthen us and prepare us for a future better. But did you know that faith and patience are essential for any transformation? Next, Apollo makes observations. Keep watching to learn tips on how to apply these teachings in your daily life.
Laura's story shows us that personal transformation is possible, but it requires courage, determination, and faith. Each of us faces challenges and difficulties, but it is in the small daily decisions that we find the power to change our lives. Just like Laura, who decided to no longer postpone her dreams, we can also take the first step towards our transformation. Reflect on your own difficulties and challenges. What have you been putting off? What are the dreams you have kept deep in your heart? Remember that change doesn't happen overnight, but every small step is important. And above all, remember that you will not be alone on this journey. God is with you, strengthening you and guiding you in every moment. Imagine yourself in the place of Laura, walking through a park and meeting a wise woman who gives her a transformative message. What would you do differently? What decisions would you make if you were Laura? Remember that true transformation begins with a simple decision and is sustained by faith and patience. May this reflection bring peace, harmony, and hope to your life. May you find the courage to take the first step and the determination to continue, even in the face of challenges. And may you, just like Laura, discover the power of change in your own hands. We thank you very much for watching so far. We hope that Laura's story and the reflections shared have touched your heart and inspired you to take the first step towards your personal transformation. Remember that change is a continuous process and that every small step is important. We have a surprise for you. In the next video, we will explore even more the power of faith and determination, bringing inspiring stories and teachings from the Word that will strengthen your paths. Don't miss it. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to be notified whenever we release new content. Your comment is very important to us. Leave your opinion about Laura's story and share your own experiences of transformation. Together, we can inspire and support each other in this adventure of personal growth. When you feel that a friend needs encouragement like Laura, share this video with them. We thank you very much if you can dedicate a moment to like this video. It may seem like a small action, but it helps us continue offering good messages and thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss our future reflections. Your comments also mean a lot to us. If you find what we share useful, leave us your comment and interests so that we can assist you in future videos. We will continue to talk and improve here. Don't forget to check the description of this video. When there are materials and readings additional, that's where we will leave notices and reading supplements for you. We are grateful for being here. For those always looking to go beyond, a new door is opening. The video appearing now can lead you to fascinating discoveries, expanding on the discussion we just had. Your curiosity is our fuel.